Most Etsy print-on-demand sellers aren't failing because they're bad at making designs. They're failing because they're copying other people's designs. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to make better designs than 99% of print-on-demand sellers because I've already built a $1.8 million print-on-demand business on the back of my simple designs. So let's start with the uncomfortable truth. 99% of sellers copy other people's designs. They see a bestseller, they change a word, they swap a font and hope it works. It doesn't. Instead of copying designs, study them. What does a design consist of? Fonts, styles, elements. Think collegiate fonts, line art styles, or like cats, for instance. When you know what specific elements, fonts, and styles are actually selling on Etsy, the odds of making a design that actually gets sales gets way bigger. So write them up on a list. Then combine those proven elements, fonts, and styles into something new. The key to the castle here is to only use elements that are already selling, fonts that are currently working, and styles that actually convert. Then combine them differently. I'll show you an example. These are all proven styles within the last year. I actually made this app for my community, but I'm thinking about sharing it with you guys too. So if you want to know if or when that happens, you can sign up to my email list by getting the quick starter kit in the link in the description. I'll also send you my profit calculator and my listing image templates as well when you sign up. My treat to you. Now, let's look at this example. This design here uses one element, one font, and one style. If we just break it down, it uses a cursive font, which we can see here works as a standalone font. Apart from that, we can also see that the design is using cats, which is a very popular element to use within your designs. And the cats are also in a line art style, which is a very popular style to use on Etsy currently. They took 3 different things that works on their own and combined it into something new. And this is how I scaled to 6-figure revenue in just year 1, not by inventing new styles or doing something original, but just remixing proven ones in better ways. So make a list of fonts, elements, and styles that are currently working on Etsy and start combining those to create the designs. Now, the second problem 99% of sellers do is that they design what they personally like. Maybe you're into snowboarding, so you're designing snowboarding designs. Or maybe you're into kayaking, so you're making kayaking designs. This leads to beautiful designs, but with 0 sales. The problem here is that we are designing for ourselves. If you're anything like me and you want to do this as a business, I always ask one question before I do any type of designs. What emotional or celebratory milestone happens every single day that people generally want to buy gifts for? These are things that people would buy print-on-demand items for. Think birthdays, graduations, anniversaries, new moms, religious milestones, pet lovers, promotions, or retirement. Don't even think about the competition here. I really go into these highly competitive niches on purpose, not to avoid competition, but because competition proves demand. Because when you operate inside real demand, instead of making designs for things you find interesting, you stop hoping for sales and you actually start engineering them. Because Etsy is not a place you go to view masterpieces. It's the place that you go to find unique gifts for people. And because of that, we follow the demand first and then we make the designs for that demand. Now, after having helped tons of people in both my free Discord community and my paid school community, I've started to see quite a lot of patterns. Too many sellers obsess over the titles and the tags of their listings. They tweak titles for hours by looking at keyword scores from Everbee. It drains them and it doesn't even move the needle. What it's really all about is that little image we see when someone searches up your listing on Etsy called the thumbnail. It's insanely important that you use product photos commonly used by bestsellers and a simple framework for your listing images. I've actually created a Canva template that uses this framework exactly. It's available to you for free in the description down below in the Etsy Quick Starter Kit. So download it now before we proceed. It's okay, I can wait. And the best part about doing it this way is that since we're all using Printify for fulfillment, as long as you ensure that the product photo you're buying on Etsy matches the product we're selling on Printify, then you can be sure that the customer will receive a product that matches your images. I honestly tested out over 10 different versions of listing images to come up with this set, and now tons of members in my community are using this and are getting great results with it. So the lesson here is to ensure your product photos are chosen and made very carefully using simple frameworks. Because if your designs aren't standing out in the search results, it doesn't even matter how optimized your keywords are. Now, it kind of goes without saying, but if you don't put up any listings, then none of this really comes into play. You see, 99% of sellers rely on motivation. They create 40 designs one weekend, then they kind of burn out. Then they disappear for 2 weeks. Nothing really gets published, and the cycle kind of repeats. That inconsistency creates inconsistent sales. So let's say that you start researching designs on Etsy and then you switch to designing based on the research that you just did. If you switch over to designing, it kind of takes a little while until you get into it. That's because it takes a while for you to reach deep focus every time that you switch. The deep focus disappears and it forces you to restart every time you switch. What we need to always have in mind in order to be efficient in our work is that when we need to do research, all we do is research that day. If we are focusing on designing, then all we do is designing that day. One day is one task. And once that task is done for the day, your daily goal has already been cleared and you're well on your way to a profitable business and you can do whatever you want with the rest of your time. The key thing here is to know that motivation is really unstable and it doesn't lead you to get to where you want to, but clear systems gets you to where you want to go. So if you watched this far in the video, you probably noticed a theme here. The designs, the product photos, the niches, it's all based on data. Not gut feeling, not my opinion, or anything else of that sort. It's all based on what the people on Etsy are buying. You see, most sellers make decisions based on what they think will sell, what a YouTuber said, what worked in 2020, or what they feel is right. That's opinion, and it doesn't work. It's also very important to understand that what worked 6 years ago now doesn't work anymore. Times have changed. A great example of that is Etsy ads. They are practically unusable now as the costs are so high, and this comes from someone who has spent over $100,000 on them. Seasons change and so does our strategies, but what never changes is the data. I always let the data decide what fonts are working, what styles are converting, what niches to sell in, and what products are actually in demand. None of this is gut feeling. The numbers always tells us what's right and what's wrong. If you have low views, for instance, it's almost always the niches that you're in. If you have low visits, someone is not clicking your listings in the search results. This means that it's a thumbnail or a design problem. If you're not getting any sales, but you do have good visits, well then it's your listing images that's the problem. But all of this comes from the data. That's the sole thing we have to trust in order to move forward. Because when we follow the numbers instead of gut feeling or what we think will work or not, we stop guessing. We stop overthinking. We stop doubting every decision, because the data will tell you if what you did was a good or a bad move. So if you keep copying designs, designing for yourself, chasing new tools and relying on random motivation, you'll stay exactly where 99% of sellers are. Shift your mindset to stop copying, design where the demand is, fix your listing images, build data systems, and then let the data decide. You won't just get more sales, you'll build a store that grows predictably instead of just randomly. Because the sellers who win on Etsy aren't more creative or special, they are just more structured. But how do you practically structure creating designs? Well, watch this video next where I show you exactly how I research niches and create over 100 best-selling designs in just 16 minutes.